Hey, what's up, everybody? Super excited about today's Q&A interview with Alex Hormozi. It's going to be a super awesome interview, guys. If you haven't heard of Alex, he's wrote two big selling books, such as $100 million Offers and $100 million Leads. He's scaled and exited 7 companies to over $120 million. You've probably seen him on social media. If you haven't, you're probably living under a rock. Now, throughout this social media or throughout this Q&A session, I'm going to be asking questions about how you can get more leads and traffic to ultimately build your email list, to attract more people, to close more high ticket sales. Now, before I bring on Alex, first, I want to congratulate you, man, on your epic launch with the $100 million leads. Dude, that was an incredible launch. And I know I've personally gone through the book. I've gone through all the trainings that you gave, the free course within the book. So without further ado, I want to introduce Alex Hormozi. What's up, my man?
What's up? Thank you for having me. And for the audience that is live, I know we're a minute early, but we figured, hey, let's hop on a minute early and rock and roll. But I just want to say thank you guys so much for attending, and showing support. I hope you guys felt like I hope you felt like it was a good return on your time. We put a lot into it, and only looking forward to doing it again next year, 10 times bigger with the next book. So thank you guys, and I hope we can provide as much value as we can.
Yeah, and I mean, to kind of talk about your launch, obviously you're here because everyone saw the value in the training. And, the goal of, just to put it in context, the goal of what I teach my students is I'm going to teach you how to do affiliate marketing, get traffic so you can quit your job. I know I personally was able to quit my job 4 years ago with affiliate marketing. So the goal for me was to try as hard as possible to get you on because, I'm going to ask these specific questions that's going to help affiliate marketers get more leads and traffic. So yeah, man, I want to say thank you everyone that helped me get Alex on here because you guys have obviously we did this together to get Alex on. So really, really excited about that. So let's dive right into it. You ready?
Yeah, let's rock.
Awesome. All right. So I want to start with the lead magnet. I think that's one of the most important things that you talk about in your $100 million leads book is before we start creating content, running ads, we got to have that super valuable lead magnet. But the question is more specific for affiliate marketers. How can we create a lead magnet as an affiliate for a high ticket affiliate product that's valuable to gain the trust of our email subscribers, but at the same time, getting our list to purchase the high ticket product. So as an example, some of the things that I give my students is like a step-by-step ebook, or I give them a white label course to give out as an affiliate. The issue that I see is people are not going through the free stuff. And that's kind of where people are getting stuck. So that's the question.
Yeah. How do you get the leads that you... So we can get into tactics and we can do that stuff. But like the big overarching thing is that you have to build a reputation, right?
Right.
And the reason that we had, more people affiliate our thing than most people is because we had a reputation. And so we have a reputation of building value, and providing value. And so a lot of people weren't afraid to send their audiences there because they didn't think I was going to do something that would be shady. Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And
so hopefully that, I delivered on that. But from an affiliate marketing perspective, imagine, if you look at influencer marketing rather than using the word affiliate marketing, influencer marketing is affiliate marketing. It's just a different word. And influencers just tend to have personal brands and affiliate marketers don't, even though fundamentally you're simply just directing traffic towards an offer. And so there is a certain amount of trust that an influencer might have earned because they provide value to the audience. And then when they do say, hey, you guys have been following me for, XYZ advice. I use this iPhone case because I think it's great. You can grab it over here. Then people go buy it, right? Because they trust the affiliate. Now, if you're just doing it off of how do I arbitrage clicks, right, at mass scale, and I'm not sure if that's necessarily what you teach, but I'm assuming it's something to that degree of paid ads to establish. Is it like ClickBank funnels or things like that?
So not really. It's more private products, but I actually really don't teach paid ads. I teach content marketing, which will be kind of a question I'll ask later. But go ahead and keep going on that.
No, I want to cater it to your audience. So you teach content to build authority and then make recommendations of products.
Yeah. So the main thing is building the email list. Cause I'm like, if you can build that email list, obviously you talk about leverage a lot, right? So if you could build that email list, that quote unquote ATM machine, you can go and promote any product you want. But to build that email list, we need a strong lead magnet. So, and the issue I see is, you know, we'll give out free courses, free ebooks, but people are not going through the free things. Now, obviously with volume, you know, people do go through them, but for the most part, they get this free book or this free course as a lead magnet, and they're not going through it. And that's where a lot of my students are getting caught up in.
So in the lead magnet chapter, I talk about making it easy to consume. And so there's different elements of that, right? One is that we want to make sure that we make whatever, if you're giving away media, right? You want to make the media available in every format. So there's a reason that I push audio and video and hardback and Kindle and, you know, like every single way that someone can consume it. And here's an interesting stat for you guys is that like, if you only provide one way for someone to consume stuff, 75% of the audience doesn't consume that way.
Got it.
So I almost have a perfect split of consumption across my book variants by type. So if I look at number of people who watched the course versus number of people who bought the hardback versus number of people who bought the Kindle, and then versus number of people who bought or who listened to the audio, it's almost a perfect split across the board. And so people consume information the way they want. So the easiest way you can increase consumption is simply by making available more formats. So that's number one. Number two is that just like you have a lead magnet for whatever value you have, and a headline is the lead magnet for the ad, like everything has to sell the next step, which usually means that there's not enough curiosity or enough value that's being delivered even in the microsecond before they open it, right? And that there's too much friction between when they get that first piece of value to what they have to do to get the next piece of value. So, you know, one of the things that, I mean, you notice I could give away a course behind an opt-in wall, right? Why don't I do that? Because
of the restriction of because they have to go and enter their email. That's just another layer of
do that, right? Yeah. And so I get a huge amount of traffic to my site. I think we get like 85,000 unique views a day on the page, with 80% of that traffic going to my courses, which are available not behind a wall. But there's also opt-ins everywhere else on the page, so that if I provided sufficient value from the course, then you can choose to subscribe. And so what happens is the engagement rate on my list is extremely high because I don't barrage them with stuff. I provide value before they choose to opt in rather than after. And so that's like, it's how many ways can I front load value so that when I do make an ask, it becomes obvious. And so if you think about the lead magnet that you guys are giving away, it's like, how can I make that? Because like content is a lead magnet.
Right.
If you think about it, like it's just all content are lead magnets that then lead to other lead magnets that then lead to other lead magnets until eventually you have some sort of ask that includes a purchase, right? And so every single piece of content, every lead magnet should just lead naturally to the next thing. And if you have a drop off, the amount they were rewarded from consuming your last piece of content will also influence how much they consume the next one. Right. So a lot of people are like, man, this piece performed better. Like Mr. Beast, right?
Yeah.
His CTR is so high because he has such a history of providing good videos that at this point, people don't need to read the headline or the thumbnail. They just know it's a new Mr. Beast video and they click it automatically. Right.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of the building the reputation. That's like the big stuff that matters way more than some of the smaller things. But in terms of super tactics, make it available in every format possible, remove friction ahead of time, and then make sure that the first thing they consume is valuable enough that they want to consume the rest of it, right? And so like if I have a lead magnet on whatever, headline split tests, if that's what I'm giving away, then I want to give 2 or 3 of the headline split tests for free as the headline for why they should read the rest of it. Like they have to get value so that they believe that they'll get more value by consuming the rest of it.
Yeah, no, I love that, man. And I did notice because I was going through the free course that you had, and as I was going through it, I remember, you know, you had the opt-in pop up while you're watching the course. Now, it didn't even say like you have to opt in to continue going. It just said, hey, if you want to join the list, there it is. So that's awesome. No, that's an easy fix for people. And I think one of the main things is like you mentioned, even the headline. Maybe they're opting in, just they're curious, but they're not curious enough to actually go through it, right? Maybe you're not creating that pain point in the headline to get them to even go through it. Right.
Just curiosity. And like, let's say someone opts in for a lead magnet, right?
Mm-hmm.
So no one's consuming it. So what you can do is take your lead magnet to however many pages, if it's, I'm just using an ebook as an example.
Yeah.
You take one of the tactics from the ebook, and that's email 1. And you're like, hey, this is this really valuable thing. And if you want more of this, I already sent you the lead magnet, but here it is again, in case, just to make it convenient for you.
Right.
It's available on all these formats if you prefer it.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next email is tactic 2 from the ebook. And it's like, if you're enjoying this, then you'll love the ebook. So you already have it. This is just me trying to do some of the information digestion for you.
Yeah.
Right? How much, like, there's too much friction per value, not enough value per second. So how can I keep digesting it down so I can increase the concentration of value?
That makes sense. I love that. And you actually gave me a good idea. I mean, I love the fact, and it's funny because I've seen you do it. I just never thought about it. Cause like I said, I'll create a whole free course, but it's just a video format. Very easy to put that in audio format, book format. And I've seen you do it. It's just funny that I guess I haven't even thought of doing that myself.
You'll get 4 times the consumption. 4.
What was that?
You'll get 4 times the consumption.
Yeah, that's huge for sure. So yeah, that's perfect. That right there is going to help so many people because that's where they get stuck is like people aren't consuming it. People aren't even opting in. So I think if we could fix that, that could solve a lot of the issues. Now, that kind of
peel out the lead magnet, peel out the course. Like, again, like even email is a different format. So you can take this, like you can say the same thing 20 times. 1, people need to be reminded more than they need to be taught. 2, the assumption that you said something once and that people automatically understand it is 0. Even the fact that you're like, I've seen you do this. I have talked about it, but you probably consumed a decent amount of my stuff, assuming that, that's why you're here. And you sit on a no. So like, there's this whole limiting belief around like repetition, or what if I've already said something? It's like, no one's paying attention to you. Like right when you're getting bored of your marketing campaign, people might not even remember your name yet. So like, we are very self-centered and assume everyone has read every email we ever sent, but they don't. And so you can take your ebook or take your course, take a nugget from one of the videos, put it in there, and you can even send, like, let's say your course that you're providing for free is whatever, 12 videos long. Then take a nugget from video 2 and be like, here's a nugget from video 2. If you want to see the rest of the video, go here. It'll help you do bullet, bullet, bullet. Like, sell them on why they should consume it. And again, even the course itself, you really need to make sure that it's as condensed as humanly possible. Like, you should think of all content, even courses, as like TikTok material. So if you're competing against TikTok and Reels and Shorts. And so if they have 12 minutes, they could watch 20 shorts that'll deliver value. And so if I'm going to have 12 minutes of someone's attention, I need to deliver 20 TikToks worth of value in that period of time, or it should be a shorter video.
That's awesome. Yeah, I love that. And that kind of leads into my next question then. So once they do have the dialed in lead magnet, once that's good to go, obviously the next step is to get people aware of the lead magnet, which leads into kind of what I teach is creating a social media brand, creating content. Like I said, I don't really teach paid ads at the moment. It's all about the creating content. Now, obviously I have my own frameworks on how I teach it. And I know a lot of your content, you're like, hey, you got to do hard stuff first. Like, you've obviously created an amazing business. You sold your companies. So you have a lot to talk about. The problem with my students is they're beginners. They don't have any experience. They don't have any credibility, almost no confidence, right? So how do you, like, what type of advice do you give them? Like, do you do storytelling, tactics, motivational? How do we get them to start creating that brand?
So I'm assuming your audience is on here right now, so I'm going to speak directly to you guys.
They are here. Yes.
Don't try and be me, because you're not me. And so you trying to be me is going to be a diluted, shitty version of me, and you're not going to beat me at that, right? But you're going to beat me at being you. And so the thing is like, people think that their life is boring or they're not doing stuff because they're trying to use the litmus test of Alex as what is boring or interesting, right? Whereas, like, I'll give you this Joe Rogan example because I think it'll drive it home. So Joe Rogan is into comedy, psychedelics, fighting, hunting, like, you know what I mean? Like, he's got all these very disparate interests, fitness and biohacking, right? He's got all these very disparate interests. And if I were to say, hey, Joe, I want you to build a brand that's about psychedelics, aliens, comedy, hunting, whatever, people would be like, you're insane. But that brand is Joe Rogan. And so much of your audience have interests, And it doesn't mean that you have to make content about, everybody thinks they have to make content about making money. You can make a lot of money not making content about making money, right? You just make content about things that you actually have interest in. And the idea is that you pretty much have two paths to pick, in my opinion. You either entertain or you educate, right?
Yeah.
Now, if you're not entertainers, which I'm assuming your audience probably isn't, then you're going to be on the education side. But how do you educate without authority? Well, you don't. You document, right? You show what you're doing. And so you're like, hey, I'm doing this right now. And you can talk about stuff that you are interested in. Like, hey, I found out this thing that I thought was cool. Hope you enjoy it, right? It's not you should, it's here's what I did, right? This isn't the 3 best ways to build your social media when you have 100 fucking followers. You say, here's 3 things that help me.
Yeah. Okay.
And so then when you get out of the cringe world of like, because there's just this big obvious thing, which is why I started the presentation for the book launch with, this guy has a book called How to Market a Book, and he has 14 reviews on Amazon. It's a 3-year-old book. Do I need to read the book to know that the book doesn't work?
Right.
No, because I have evidence that the guy has no idea what he's doing.
Right.
But if the book was how I built my social media following or how I published my first book, that might be credible because he has a book that he has published. How I published my first book in 30 days. Okay. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be the best book, but he got it done. So he has evidence that his claim can be backed up. And so what we need to do is decrease the claims that we're making and talk more about the things that we've actually done. It's just that you don't need, like, I will get more credibility around talking about how to scale businesses because I've scaled businesses. Don't talk about scaling businesses if you haven't scaled businesses. Talk about what you have done. You just have to chunk down what you have done and then be truthful about it.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I mean, I've been doing this not that long either. And me personally, that's how I grew. My brand was like, hey, I got my first $2 sale and this is how I did it. So I always try to tell people to document the journey as well. So I love the way you put that. Now the next question is about kind of off that topic, but I know that you do a lot of videos that are like super general sometimes. Like you'll talk about Chipotle and you'll get like millions of views, right? Super general, nothing about business. Do you recommend people doing that? I mean, I talked to Ryan Maggin at Onyx and Gull's Mastermind. I know he's worked with you, and he talks about, hey, let's start with the top of the funnel, the content funnel, right? Let's talk about these crazy things that everyone talks about to get people attracted to your brand. So do you recommend doing that or talking more niche? I think you kind of answered that, but I just want to drive that home, like, because I know you talk a lot of, about very general topics sometimes.
Talk about what you know. If it happens to go wide, awesome. If it doesn't go wide, awesome. The problem with the viral chasers, right, is that they become algo whores. And so they think that if a video doesn't, go viral, that it was a bad video, but like you can also go viral in a way that doesn't build your brand. And so like this gets into branding, which is like, what do I want to be known for? Like, what do I want to associate with? Now, I made one video that talked about Chipotle and it went viral, and that's kind of permanently part of my association. Do I go to Chipotle all the time? No. Right. But like when I did go to Chipotle, like that's how I ordered. Right. And so you have to be careful because if I had like tons of viral videos that were all about different things, I would be a mile wide and an inch deep. And that doesn't drive behavior. That doesn't drive purchases. Right. Because no one knows who you are. You're just like 100 things mixed together, which is basically nothing. And so I don't have any trust with an audience because I haven't really provided value. That's almost more entertainment than it is, value that's going to change someone's life. Right.
Yeah. Right.
So you want to be okay talking about stuff that doesn't necessarily crush. Like if you were to categorize the topics that are on my page right now, like how many of them are about business? How many of them are about Chipotle or, food? Probably a very small minority. Like you'll probably notice I don't have a ton of stuff on marriage. Like I don't want to be known as a marriage guy. You know what I mean? I just get asked questions about marriage all the time, but that's just not what I want to be known for. And so it's the easiest thing to be known for is being you. And so whatever the unique idiosyncrasies of yourself are, talk about those. And those are the things that it's the mix of 3 or 4 very random things that makes someone different and stand out.
Yeah, I know I've seen a training, I think it was Jenna Kutcher, but she talks about the JK5, or I know you talk about multiple different things, right? Like if you're a fitness guy, you talk about fitness, you talk about, your family.
Yes. I just wouldn't say like I did not sit down and say, I'm going to talk about dessert. I'm going to talk about calves. I'm going to talk about sales. I'm going to talk about marketing. I'm going to talk about scaling businesses. I'm also going to talk about philosophy. I didn't sit down and say that. I was like, I'm going to talk about stuff that I fuck with.
Yeah, got it.
And then if
that's
other
you.
people fuck with it too, they'll get value from it. And if they don't, cool. Like, I'm just sharing stuff that I find interesting.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, people are going to follow you for you at the end of the day, right? I mean, that's what when people buy my stuff, they buy me because I like this, and this, right? Sometimes it's not even about what I teach. Obviously it is. But
follow you
a lot of times they follow me because of me.
They'll follow you for what you do to them. They don't follow you for you. They follow you for how much you help them. Got
it. No, I love it. I love it. So this question is actually more for me. So in your book, obviously you talk about building that affiliate army, which is something I've done pretty well of. So far we've had over 30,000 affiliates sign up to promote my products. We've paid out over $2 million in commissions. The problem I'm seeing, and I know you talk about this in the book, but I'll see affiliates, they'll start promoting my product, they'll do really good, and then they'll just jump ship and go promote whatever. And that's fine. I totally get that's the game. What I'm saying is, what could I do better to keep affiliates for the long term? Because I know you mentioned that, the software company, Allen and Prestige Labs, you still have those affiliates promoting it. I know you sold those companies, but you still have those evergreen affiliates promoting it. What can I do to keep people long term? And just so you know, the things I do now, I give out plaques when people hit certain milestones. I do big contests a few times a year. I give them my lead magnet courses, stuff like that. So that's where I'm at.
Two things.
Okay.
Product and brand. So Apple doesn't need to have an affiliate program because people will talk about the new iPhone no matter what.
Right.
So if you make the product good enough, the perfect affiliate is someone who is going to recommend your product to their friend anyways, and that just happens to have a financial incentive that bonuses them for it. If you try to get people to promote your thing purely based off the financial incentive, then the moment there's another financial incentive, you've trained them to go pursue that. And so then they will have zero loyalty to your brand. And so the idea is, how can I create associations between myself and my products that people want to consistently associate with? And if I can do that, then people would already recommend, they would already tell their friends about my book launch anyways. I'm just using it as an example, right? They would already tell people about my book launch anyways. But if I can also give them an incentive to do it and some credit for doing it, then they're more likely to do it and keep doing it and not have to compete on price. And I had to learn that lesson the hard way, because with Prestige Labs, I tried to create, I came from it from probably the angle that you're at right now, which is, I was like, I'm just going to make the craziest incentive program that's going to be so good for affiliates that they're going to make all this money. And I kept selling how much money people were going to make promoting my supplements, even though the supplement products were amazing. But what I didn't do is I didn't build a brand. And so I had a neutral company, had no positive or negative associations. And so people would trade goodwill with their audience for money, right? But as soon as there's another product that they can trade for more money or the same money or whatever, they would switch from me to them. Now, I'll tell you a story. A friend of mine was in the fitness space and had a relatively large business. And I was like, dude, you should promote Prestige. And he never did. And he stayed with a company that gave him 1/4 the payouts that I would give him because he wanted the brand association.
Yeah.
And this was a friend of mine who I had helped grow his business just because we're friends.
Yeah.
And still, he liked my brand, but he didn't like the brand that I had built. It was just neutral. You know what I mean? It was just a brand for gyms, right? Yeah. And so he wasn't willing to promote it. And that was a huge lesson for me, that he was willing to promote a stranger's brand who he didn't have a relationship with over mine that paid 4 times better, because the reason that he was promoting it is the reason most people promote things is because they want to feel cool. They want to have status associated. They believe in the values that the brand stands for. And that's the hard work. That's why brands are worth lots of money, because it takes time to do it.
Yeah, no, that's amazing.
You want people to consistently promote your products, have a brand that they aspire to associate with. And then that they would do it anyways, because the brand and the product are good enough that they don't even feel like they're sacrificing goodwill when they give it to their audience. They feel like their audience is benefiting from the association. Like if I go to a great dry cleaning store, I'll tell people about it, not because I have some kickback from the store, but just because it's a good product and it's a good brand. and I want my friends to get that benefit and then associate that benefit with me. Now, if the dry cleaning store also pays me, great. But like the primary reason that they should refer your products is because they want to anyways, even if you didn't pay them. That is how you create a loyal affiliate army for your brand that won't jump ship when somebody else tries to present with them with an offer. There's a saying from HubSpot, Dharmesh, who's the co-founder of HubSpot. He says, you don't have a customer until a competitor has offered the same product as yours for less and they still stay with you.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, that brings me to, and that's why I love being a part of your affiliate launch with the $100 million leads, because I was definitely watching closely. And I remember you mentioned that, you know, I'm going to bring so much goodwill to your audience. It's not going to feel like I'm losing my goodwill. Cause I mean, I pushed it hard. I wanted everyone to be at your event. Like, you should see, and I sent so many emails and text messages and paid ads because I knew if I could help people get more leads, I'm going to help them be able to generate traffic and be able to help them quit their jobs at the end of the day. That's why I tried so hard to get them here and try to get you here. And that's why I went for that spot. But what I'm saying is I learned a lot with your launch, that a lot of the things I'm implementing now. One of the big things I learned as well from your launch is, and because I do a lot of affiliate competitions, but I'll be like, hey, top 10 get this big prize. But then everyone else is like, you know, they're not going to win anything. But I like what you did. Hey, just get 5 or I think it was 10 people and you're going to get my 2 bonus chapters. That was so huge because most people are not going to be in the top 10, obviously. So that was awesome, man. I love that.
It's appealing to different avatars.
Yes.
So there's the top avatars who are going to be competitive, who are going to be like you and want to crush it. And there's a lot of people who have 10 friends, and I would totally benefit if everybody sent 10 people, but they don't have a huge audience. And so it's like, well, how can I serve both people? So you just so when you're creating affiliate compensation structures, there's usually 3 tiers. I only did 2 just for simplicity, but normally if I'm going to create a business around it, you have standard payout, which is, you know, the lowest tier. You have activation payout, which is once they do this training or this point that, you know, drives retention on an affiliate. And then you have like ideal, which is what's the level of, you know, production that I would want them to have to be what I would consider like a very productive affiliate. And so they get incentives at each level so that you can move them through and they get further invested in the brand.
Yeah, no, I saw that in the book and in the training. So I'm actually implementing that as we speak. So I love that, man. But yeah, so that kind of leads me to the next question. So I know you talked about Prestige Labs, which was your supplement company, which was kind of funny. That's the first time I knew about you. I think this was back in 2017, 2018. I actually had a local meal prep company. So I was partnered with the gym that was part of your gym launch program, which is that's how I found out about you in Albuquerque. But anyways, so and I had a big fitness following at the time. I was big into fitness and all that good stuff. So I actually promoted your Prestige Labs through my following. Yeah. But anyways, back to the question. So you talk a lot about cold outreach, which I love, by the way. Did you guys ever do cold outreach for affiliates? And I don't know if I might have missed that in the book.
No, you absolutely can. I mean, you can use the core 4 to get whatever you want. You can get them to use affiliates, get employees, get agencies, get customers. Like the core 4 is how you let anyone know about anything. So you can use it to do whatever you want.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. I love it. Did you do that for your companies though? Or did you bring them out from within? Because everyone that are affiliates for me, they're my students that become affiliates, but I've never gone out and recruited.
I mean, you don't need to have more than one system. Like there's just a lot of ways to do it. That's just one of them. But I mean, if you look at, you know, like a First Form or something like that, if you're familiar with the
of course. Yeah.
Yeah. They have a good brand, and then they will go reach out to influencers that they think align with the brand and can reinforce the same, like they share the values of the brand. So basically you want to make a mutual association. Both brands are better off by making the association, and then say, hey, is there a way that we can compensate you for making this association?
Yeah. Makes sense.
And so you can reach out. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Big people. Absolutely.
For sure. Okay. We have a few minutes here. So let me see. So what are your, so this is gonna be a little bit different, but I know you talk a lot about college, and obviously you're not a big fan of the traditional system.
For people who want to be entrepreneurs, I mean, if you want to go be a doctor or lawyer, by all means, but for everyone else, there's other ways that are better in my opinion.
Right. So I guess what I'm talking like, so my question is for the general public, like for society in general, do you think we still need college, or do you think what's happening now is like with online courses? Do you think that's better for general people? Because personally, I got my degree in electrical engineering. I got my degree, got my job. I hated it, quit to do what I'm doing now. I obviously don't like college. I preach all the time, don't go to college, learn skills. But for the general public, obviously some people want that traditional. Yeah. What do you think? Like, do you think people should go to college, or like, what's your general advice on that?
Yeah. So it's not should or shouldn't, it's contextual always. Right. But every decision I would make from an investor's perspective, which is just allocation of resources. So given this 4 years and X amount of money and the foregone income I could make if I started making money at a job, and what 4 years of experience would look like on my resume compared to 4 years in a college degree, which of these is more valuable? And I think the job market has already completely changed. Like it's already adjusted. Like I'll give you an example. So if someone's 22 years old and they have 4 years of sales experience versus a kid who just graduated from State U and has a business degree, who am I going to take? I'm going to take the sales guy who's already done sales if it's a sales role, right? And so that guy didn't incur debt, spent 4 years learning a vocation, made 4 years of income. And so if you look at a side-by-side comparison of this guy, 50,000 in debt, and this guy's got 50,000 saved up and is 4 years further in his career path that he wants or she wants. Yeah. So it's just, does the allocation of time, money, and the foregone income make sense in terms of how much extra career advancement you get through the 4-year investment? And the argument for me is that it's probably not worth for most people. Now, for most people, if you can get into Harvard, the network is probably worth more. If you go to Princeton, the network is still probably there. That the ROI might be there. But for most, like unless you're going top 10 where you actually get brand association that gets transferred to you, like if you would tell people where you graduated and it would shift their perception of you, then that's something that stays with you and that is valuable. Yeah. But the vast majority of time, that's not the case.
Yeah, no, I got you. I mean, I guess you could argue the same thing with like business masterminds, as far as the network, but yeah, no, I mean, I was just curious on that because that's something that like a lot of people come to me for advice. Obviously I deal with a lot with beginners. They're like, hey, should I go to college? And I'm like, well, generally I would say no, but
what do you want? Just ask them, what do you want? If they're like, well, I just want to make money, then no, you don't need to do that. If they're like, I want to do this career, then what career do you want? And then what are the requisites for that? Yeah, they're like, I love finance, then yeah, you should get a degree, right? Just because any most accounting fields, like there's certifications, there's things that you have to do to practice it, right?
Right.
And that's just because of the government and law. But yeah, so just ask them what their goal is rather than, in my opinion.
No, that's perfect. That's perfect, man. Well, I know we're out of time now, but I do really appreciate you coming on. Again, congratulations on your huge launch. I'm excited for the next series of books you have.
Thank you.
And yeah, man, I just really appreciate you coming on and providing value. You've already helped me a ton personally. So everyone, if you guys could just comment down below if you guys enjoyed the training, the Q&A with Alex Hormozi.
Appreciate you guys. And to your audience, thank you guys so much for showing up in droves to the book launch event. I hope you guys got a lot from it and even more from the books and the trainings that came afterwards. So thank you guys so much. Jonathan, appreciate you. And we'll talk soon. We'll talk at the next one when you win the next affiliate one.
All right, man. Sounds good. All right. Have a good one, brother.
See ya.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much. I hope you guys enjoyed that interview with Alex. Not going to lie, I spent a ton of time putting these questions together. So let me know. Did you guys get value from that? Did you guys learn a lot? The way I designed the questions was obviously trying to help you guys as beginners, right? How do we create that content? How do we create that lead magnet? But I wanted to ask the questions that would give you value, not something general that we can just go on Google and find out. One of the mentors that I was, or one of the masterminds I was in, my mentor told me, don't ask stupid questions that you can go ask on Google. So I literally spent the last 16 hours taking these questions and asking them so I can help you guys with your business. So I hope you guys got a ton of value from this. Not going to lie, I worked extremely hard to get Alex Hormozi on, obviously with your help and your support. So thank you all so much. And real quick, while you guys are on here, I got a lot of you on. Who here has seen the secret project that I've been working on? Comment secret project down below. But let me know. I'm just curious. Lots of comments. I appreciate you guys. Awesome. Yeah. So like I said, while I have you here, go check out my new YouTube series. I'm talking about this new secret project that I've been working on for the last 4 years. So I'm about to announce it in hopefully the next month, next few weeks. But let me know if you guys are excited. I've been hinting at a lot of the things that we're going to be doing. And yeah, so thank you guys so much for being on live. I appreciate you guys. God bless. And we'll see you guys soon.